I'm Sergeant John Hendrickson, Iowa National Guard. My MOS is 11 Bravo. 11 Bravo's job is to close with and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. Being 11 Bravo in the Iowa National Guard has actually given me the opportunity to receive the Bravo 4 ASI, or Additional Skills Identifier, which is a sniper. The reason I joined the Iowa Army National Guard was for opportunities. I was actually a high school dropout, and the Guard offered me a lot of opportunities that I would not have had elsewhere in the civilian market.
We're 11 Bravo, and our ASI is B4 qualification, which also is the sniper tab you earn by going to sniper school. And these are some of our weapon systems that we use as snipers. This is the M110. It is for short range rapid target engagement. It shoots a .308 and it is semi-automatic. And this is our 300 Win Mag bolt action. It shoots a 300 Win Mag and it is for longer range targets and more precise shots. Over here we have the Barrett 50 cal, which people like to call it, but it's called the M107. It shoots the 50 cal round, and it's mostly used for anti-armor, taking out engine blocks of vehicles. It's really going to pierce through armor and maybe enemy tanks. This is a laser rangefinder Storm. It's called the system's called a Storm. It will give you ranges, grid coordinates if zeroed properly. And this is the spotting scope that goes with it. So you are able to zero it with the spotting scope. You'll be able to get direct coordinates using just the eyepiece inside the spotting scope.
My name is Staff Sergeant Leonard with the Iowa Army National Guard. I am a cavalry scout, otherwise a 19 Delta. So what we do, the best way to explain it is we paint the picture of the battlefield. We make sure that the main body, they know where the enemy is, what the routes are going to look like before they go out to ensure that their vehicles can get through. So I joined the Iowa Army National Guard because my family's on law enforcement, so they always give back to their communities. So I kind of want to join the military and school myself through the military, and then also give back to Iowa because it's where I grew up. It's what I love. All my family's here, so I just want to be able to kind of give back to them. So I have airborne school, air assault school, and pathfinder school. So airborne school is if they need to do drop zone operations, we can jump into a drop zone wherever they need us to. Air assault school is if you need to, if we fly in a helicopter and we need to rappel into wherever it is, then we can rappel into it from a UH-60 or a Black Hawk. And then also pathfinder operations is we are the ones to go set up the drop zones. If you need to drop paratroopers in, if you need to drop in door bundles, whatever it may be, we'll be the ones to set up those drop zones. So the first thing that I will be telling you about is the Raven. This is great for dismounted patrols. It is a UAS, otherwise known as an unmanned aircraft system. This is if we need to dismount, we want to get eyes on anything, any area of interest before we actually go to there. We're going to throw this up. It has a flight altitude of about 100 to 150 meters. It has a radius of 6 miles, and also it flies at 30 to 80 kilometers per hour as well. So here we have the LTLM, which also is known as the Laser Target Locator Module. What we use this is us as Cav Scouts will go sit in observation post to get eyes on the area of interest or the enemy or whatever it may be. This helps us to get accurate grid coordinates day or night, and it shoots up to 5 kilometers away. So we can be pretty far away but still have very accurate eyes on whether we have to call for fire or we have to do anything of that nature. This gives us accurate grid coordinates to that area of interest. Here we have the Long Range Advanced Scout Surveillance System. This, in the mode it is right now, this is the dismounted, where we put it on a tripod. So again, if we're sitting in an observation post, this one we can see even further. As you saw in the LTLM, this shoots up to 20 kilometers away and gives that real accurate grid coordinate. And then also you can mount these on the vehicles, like the Humvee you see behind me. We can mount it on the Humvee, so if we go out and we sit in a screen line or whatever it may be, this will help us keep us back far enough to where we can still see them and give accurate grid coordinates.
I'm Specialist Hanner. I got in my hands the NVGs, our night vision goggles. We use these at night to maintain our awareness. We can keep scouting and finding information throughout the battlefield with no stoppage. Most of our operations we run at night, so these are extremely important to all of our missions.
I'm Sergeant Durham with the Iowa Army National Guard, and I'm an 11 Charlie Mortarman. I joined mostly because of the fact that my family has served in the military, and I felt like it was something that I myself wanted to do. My favorite part about being 11 Charlie is dealing with the explosions. You get to blow stuff up and you get to have a lot of fun. Outside of the Iowa Army National Guard, I work in construction. A lot of the 11 Charlie MOS has helped me with is mostly discipline and making sure that I always have everything I need every time I need it.
My name is Staff Sergeant Kreinbrink. I'm a 13 Fox, which is a forward observer, also known as an artillery observer. Well, as a 13 Fox, I get to do pretty much the best of everything. So I'm a part of the infantry. I get to embed with an infantry platoon. I get to be with the cav, and I also work with the mortars and some of the big artillery guns. My job is to go out and find enemy positions and call in their position to the guns and get rounds on target. I joined the Iowa Army National Guard because when I was in high school, I watched the Twin Towers fall. I knew immediately that I was going to be a part of the armed forces, but I didn't know in what capacity. I graduated college and I found a civilian job that I loved and I didn't want to leave, so the National Guard was just a perfect fit for me.
I am Sari Hess with the Iowa Army National Guard. I'm a 13 Juliet, or a Fire Control Specialist. The Fire Control Specialist 13 Juliet, it is the brains of the operation of the field artillery portion. When the 13 Foxes or 4 observers call for fire, they send all the information to us. We calculate the information to make sure it's accurate before we push it to the 13 Bravos, the cannon crew members. So when we provide fire support for the infantry guys on the front lines, it is accurate and lethal. I joined the Iowa Army National Guard because as a young kid, being 13, 14 years old, I always enjoyed seeing the soldiers in uniform, and I wanted to be one of them and be part of an organization that's bigger than myself and be in a close-knit team.
I'm Sergeant First Class Walting, and I'm a combat engineer. I provide mobility, counter-mobility, and survivability to the 11 Bravos, 19 Deltas, and the FA guys. I joined the Iowa Army National Guard to see the world, meet interesting people, and do some cool stuff. This is the Talon 4. It is used for counter IEDs, reconnaissance, or moving of equipment. It has a range of 800 meters. Beside me is the controller for the Talon 4. It controls the Talon 4 robot.
I'm Sergeant St. John with the Iowa Army National Guard, and I'm a 13 Bravo, often known as a cannon crew member. As a 13 Bravo or a cannon crew member, our primary objective is to deliver fire support with information that we obtain from the FDC.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video on combat arms. If you've been inspired by anything you've seen today, contact your local recruiter and check us out on Iowa Army National Guard recruiting and retention on all social media platforms.